Can a lighted Caboose run on DC or DCC and not need a decoder? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Dan Cortopassi, and today I'm reviewing an HO scale Burlington Northern wide vision cupola Caboose from Tangent Scale Models. My model is decorated for Burlington Northern. The MSRP for this car is $119.95. I paid $107.99 for my model from Lombard Hobbies. We'll start the model at 100 possible points. The car comes in a sturdy cardboard box. Inside is a sheet of paper with prototype information on one side and information on operating the lights on the other. There's a slot in the foam cradle that contains a wand and some interesting looking detail parts. A plastic cradle protects the model. This is a good box that should protect the model for storage and transport. Most of the information I found for these cars came directly from Tangent's website. My Caboose represents a car from BN's final order of 50 cars built by International Car in Kenton, Ohio in 1972. These cars were modernized in 1981. The most obvious visual differences that resulted from this rebuild were the elimination of most of the side windows and the removal of the roof walk. In addition, 4 grab irons were installed on the roof next to the cupola, and a single red light replaced the earlier red and green lights on the ends. I was able to find a number of photos online of BN 10710 and work train service between 2006 and 2010. The paint was a little faded and weather-beaten, but overall the model appears to be a very close match, down to the late 1970s wheel inspection dots that were still there in 2010. The small grab irons on the roof near the cupola aren't present in the photos from this era, so they were probably removed sometime before 2006. In some of the photos, the car has side mirrors or wind deflectors installed around the cupola windows. Tangent includes these parts in the parts bag, so you can tailor the appearance of the car to a specific time. The bag also includes some red and green flags. According to the Tangent website, using these requires drilling a number 76 hole to mount the flag. I'm not familiar enough with BN operating practices to know exactly how the flags were used, but I'm sure a lot of modelers would like to have them. Similar Caboose flags are also available as a separate detail part on Tangent's website, so you could possibly use them on other BN Cabooses as well. The way this car is painted and detailed, it would be most appropriate for the 1980s through at least 2010. The paint on the car is opaque and the markings are crisp and free of voids. Small stencils are legible with magnification. There are even stencils on the center sill under the car. I especially like the two-tone green paint, with a slightly different shade where the windows were plated over and where the ACI label once was. This reproduces the look of the prototype car. With some weathering, this could look amazing. The car has freestanding grab irons throughout. The window glazing is clear and nearly flush. On the ends, the car has uncoupling levers, air hoses, and nicely done brake wheels. The steps and end platforms are see-through. The end door windows have simulated screening. There are holes near the top of each end ladder representing ladder rungs that were removed when the roof walk was removed. The spotlights on each end of the car aren't lighted. On top, the model has a detailed smokestack, roof walk supports, more grab irons, and a firecracker-style radio antenna. The cupola windows don't appear to be openable. Underneath, the car has very nicely done brake system detail. The wheels are metal with the standard RP25 tread profile. The end caps on the axles don't rotate. All the wheels pick up current from the rails for the onboard lighting. The car has Katie scale couplers on both ends. Looking for a match on the horizontal center line, the coupler on the smokestack end is at the correct height. The coupler on the other end is also good. All the wheels are in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. There is no significant body wobble. One of the first things that impressed me about this model when I took it out of the box was the weight. The car weighs 5.1 ounces, well over the 3.5 ounce NMRA recommended weight for a car of this length. Normally I like cars a little on the heavy side, though I would use caution if you're running this Caboose at the end of a train of very light cars on tight curves. The extra weight could increase the chances of a stringline derailment. The car is free rolling. The Caboose had no issues on Kato 550mm curves, which are equivalent to a 21 5/8 inch radius. Instead of a decoder, the lighting on this car is controlled with magnetic switches concealed in the roof. The supplied wand can be used to turn the marker lights and the interior light on and off. The car has a capacitor circuit and the lights will remain lit for a few seconds if power is lost. The system has the benefit of working on DC as well as DCC powered track. On DC, the instructions say that the car needs 5 volts or more. However, I was able to get the marker lights on my car to turn on at as low as 2 volts. Because the switches don't remember their settings, if you stop the train by cutting the throttle and therefore track power and stay stopped long enough for the lights to go out, you'll need to reset the lights when you apply power again. On DCC, the model works exactly the same way, though since the track power is constant, the lights will remain the way you set them until the track is powered down. You don't need to actually touch the car with the wand to activate the switches. Close is good enough. The switch for the interior light is near the cupola on the smokestack end. There's nothing to do to this car, so I'm going to skip the rip track segment. Instead, I want to show my other BN Caboose. I kitbashed this model from an Atlas Caboose. It represents a different type of BN Caboose, but it's similar in overall appearance to the Tangent model. I put an enormous amount of effort into this Caboose, starting with completely eliminating the side windows. I also reworked the cupola to make it taller and to change the end windows. The end cages, draft gear boxes, and steps were all completely redone. There were numerous other changes as well, too many to list. My car also has working marker lights with a DCC decoder. The spotlights in my car also work, though they're just bits of fiber optic with flared lenses, not detailed castings. That's one part of the car I might change at some point if I can come up with something better. I think my model looks good sitting next to the Tangent car and still holds its own, even though it's probably at least a decade old now. So whenever I review a model like this, that's kind of on the expensive side, I will inevitably get some comments about the price. And I get it, money is money. But I kind of have another take on it. The reason I showed the Atlas car that I built, or part of the reason anyway, is because that car represents dozens of hours worth of work. I don't know if it's apparent just by looking at it, but I really tore that thing apart and rebuilt it kind of from the ground up. Somewhere I have work in progress photos of it, but it was a lot. I mean, there's as much effort in that Caboose as I've put into some of the diesels that I've built. And I painted it and, did everything on that car. So, I'm really happy with the results, but it was a lot of work. And I think to myself that if I were to charge an hourly rate, even if it was, like $15 an hour, which I think is too low for skilled labor, honestly, but just using that figure for the sake of using something, it would push the cost of that Atlas Caboose far, far above what I paid for the Tangent car. So, that's just something I try to keep in mind is when I'm buying an expensive model like this that's accurate and it's got all the details already and basically needs nothing, that saves me a lot of hours. And I could put those hours into something else. So that's just kind of how I look at it. Let's see what we've got. No deductions. This car gets a perfect score, 100 points, and earns an A+. This is a highly detailed and accurate model. It definitely gets a green signal. I think Tangent did an outstanding job with this model. If you're looking for a Burlington Northern Caboose for your HO scale layout, then I think you might like it. If you like this video, then please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.